नमस्ते गुरुजी। जय गुरुजी महाराज। जय गुरुजी साथ संगत जी। शुक्राना गुरुजी महाराज का मल्टीलिंगुअल जूम प्लेटफॉर्म समस्त गुरु परिवार का बहुत स्वागत करता है। पिछले 4 महीनों से द फ्लावर ऑफ ग्रेटिट्यूड डिवाइन बुक, जो कि कमलेश में आता, आंटी जी गुरुजी के टाइम की संगत, उन्होंने ये बुक लिखी थी। इसकी रीडिंग, इसका नरेशन पिछले 4 महीने से एवरी संडे हो रहा है इस प्लेटफॉर्म से। उसी श्रृंखला में आज सुदेशना आंटी जी उपस्थित हैं संगत के बीच में, जो कि कुछ असाइंड पेजेस पढ़ेंगी द फ्लावर ऑफ ग्रेटिट्यूड बुक में से। आज का टॉपिक है द महाशिवा और गुरुजी महाराज। कितना प्यारा विषय है आज का, द महाशिवा गुरुजी महाराज। मैं सुदेशना आंटी जी से रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा, प्लीज अनम्यूट करें अपने आप को। और आपका स्वागत है सुदेशना आंटी, प्लीज सेशन को स्टार्ट करें। जय गुरु जी की।
जय गुरुजी, शुक्राना गुरुजी, शुक्राना अंकल, शुक्राना टू द एंटायर टीम। आई एम रियली फीलिंग ब्लेस्ड। मैं बहुत बहुत ज्यादा ब्लेस्ड फील कर रही हूँ। मैं आई नेवर थॉट ऑफ गेटिंग दिस काइंड ऑफ अ डिवाइन चैप्टर। उम्मीद से बाहर गुरुजी कराते हैं। Recently our team has completed 2 years and this is a very divine seva that has been given to uncle, which he is really doing with his whole heart. Itna sara translations karwana, not only of reading today's book but others also. It is really a very divine experience to be in this team as a whole. Thank you Kamlesh aunty for giving us such divine experiences, because if you have not been penning down these experiences and not have been sharing these with us, we would have really missed out on certain very vital informations and vital experiences. And I'm sure Guruji has guided you to share this with all of us. And I'm sure with today's narration and your inputs and others' inputs also, it would be a blissful experience for all others who are may not be present today in today's live, but would be listening to the recorded session later, or maybe some new sangats who would also join in later future. It would be really helpful for them to understand who our Guruji was and is. Starting with our today's chapter, the Mahashiva Guruji Maharaj. Nothing is everything and everything is nothing. We call our divine Guruji Maharaj as Mahashiva, the reincarnation of Shiva. Like many devotees, I too was grateful and blessed to see and feel the aura of his Shiva reincarnation. This was the day I felt immensely grateful to Guruji to make me see the real Guruji Swaroop, the Mahashiva Roop. The incident goes like this. In those days, Guruji used to stay in GK2. From time to time, Guruji used to isolate himself for 10 days to heal himself. To heal people from all over, he used to take the Sangat's diseases on him. He used to clean himself from all these diseases which he took on him in those 10 days. It was his cleaning period, and no one was allowed to enter the mandir. As I was unaware of it, I went to the mandir on one such usual day. A young boy looked after the mandir in those days. He told me, mandir is closed and Guruji doesn't meet anyone. Since I had come from very far, I said, I will rest for a while and will go back. He agreed. As I was resting, I fell asleep. All of a sudden, I felt a bright light in the room. I saw that the mandir was in the basement and a few stairs go to Guruji's room. When I opened my eyes, I saw a snake going upstairs. I saw Guruji following him to the stairs. My eyes remained wide open on the scene I had witnessed. I simply could not believe what I was watching. I almost became numb. After Guruji went up, I got up from my place and asked that young boy about it. He told me, Auntie, please don't mention what you saw to anyone. This is your personal darshan. I had no words and it was time to go home now. Before going home, I wanted to use the washroom. The boy said, Auntie, as you are going upstairs, do not stand there. Guruji's room remains open 1 or 2 inches. Please don't stand there. Just watch and come back. I followed the young boy's instructions and I can't express what I saw. My surprise was limitless and unbounded. The snake that climbed the stairs was coiled around sitting Guruji. The head of the snake was covering Guruji's head. I had shivers in my whole body and goosebumps all across. I ran away from there. I looked at that young boy in surprise. He kept his fingers on his lips and asked me not to utter a single word. I came back home and I was in shock for days together on what I saw and felt that day. Even today, when I think about it, I get goosebumps all across. I couldn't be less grateful for these beautiful blessings I received from Guruji. At the end of the chapter, we have a Trishul with Damru and a blissful Om. And in between these two pages that I have read today, we have a beautiful Shankara's meditating face, which is smiling very softly and eyes are closed. I'm only getting a lot of meditative vibes from this chapter and even from the image that has been shown here. To my mind, unlike the other two sessions that I have not done, which Guruji had made me done. Guruji had made me write down a lot of things, which frankly speaking, I have read instead of speaking spontaneously. But today, due to some work pressures, I did not get to write down even a single word. I do not know what Guruji is going to make me talk about, how much I will be able to do justice to it. But while reading this chapter, not only now, but even before when I was reading it twice, see, there are many things that comes in my mind. The first line, nothing is everything and everything is nothing. This is the whole crux of our universe. Everything that we see is tangible, is nothing. And that nothing is only everything. This nothingness is only Shiva. If we really want to understand what is Shiva, this nothingness is Shiva. Because in this nothingness lies every compound that comes together in various combination and forms various objects, becomes air, becomes oxygen, become many other things. Even our human body are made of tattvas. And when we burn, or even in other customs, when we do the final funeral, it get mixed up into the various elements. Nothing remains as something. Everything really becomes nothing. This chapter, I really feel that how blessed Kamlesh Aunty is that Guruji has not only this darshan. In previous chapters, we have also heard about the Kailash chapter where she was taken to the Sachkhand. I would never forget that chapter. It is so divine and so well narrated it was. And see, in this experience also, Guruji is giving Sakshat Darshan to Aunty. And while reading this, only explanation that we give is just close our eyes and imagine that. And we can see Guruji Sakshat sitting in front of us also. He is omnipresent. He was omnipresent previously also. It's just that we used to think that he is in a body. But there are various instances where he used to be present at multiple places at the same point of time. And we have got to know this because some other people had said, some other human being has said, who is a living being of this earth. And that person might have said, oh, that this time Guruji was with us also. And that is how we came to know, oh, Guruji is always present everywhere. Now, the thing is, it's not that he is only present with we human beings or even with the living beings that are living in this earth. He is always omnipresent with the entire universe. There are so many souls at various levels, at various spiritual levels, who needs Guruji. There are so many gods and goddesses, angels, and what who knows what else. So many divine beings are always there. So many rishis, maharishis who are in the divine body or who have left their cholas. They also needs Guruji's interventions in their spiritual journey. Coming to today's chapter, the darshan, where the hooded snake was coiled around with Guruji and was headed upon Guruji. We used to read in our some scriptures and see such photographs previously that this is how Shiva is, this is how uh, Sheshnag is. But see, the snake that she might have seen might not be of flesh, might be of flesh, but might not be of flesh also. It might be the Sheshnag who is in the spiritual form and has given divine darshan to Aunty by being with Guruji at that point of time. Aunty has seen a divine light being spread into the room. How is that possible if it is not only Guruji who has made her see this? Because he himself is a light. He used to say this also, that he has come from the light and he'll go back to the light. And what is that light, Sangatji? That light is the ultimate truth. Even we have a part of that light in all of us. It's just that we need to rekindle that. We need to declutter our unnecessary thoughts and practices that we might be following. As Guruji used to say, no ninda chugli. Why is this? It's because just by mere listening to others, not even doing it personally, but just by mere listening to others, might call for unnecessary thoughts in within us, and that creates trouble in our spiritual body. Our human body is only a manifestation of the spiritual body that we have. Whatever blockages or whatever, mostly blockages, you see, in spiritual bodies, we have blockages because of our thought processes. And the thought processes we do not generate always from our human body. Sometimes the thought processes are also created upside down, from Karan Sharir to Sukshma Sharir to human body, which we have also encountered in the chapter, I think chapter 43 or 45 in Autobiography of a Yogi, where it is elaborately explained. Uh, Guruji always wanted to work upon us as a soul, not only to give us some material benefits, just to give us some good money or just to cure us from our ailments. Of course, these things come automatically. And a guru is our father, is our mother, is our everything. Obviously, he would want the best for all of us at every level. No doubt on that. But the ultimate best thing, see, sometimes he makes us suffer also. Why do you think he makes us suffer? We name it as pariksha. It is not really a pariksha just to test us. It is told to us in that way so that we can keep our mental calm, that okay, it is our test. But the main thing which possibly we need to understand is he is making us clearing our karmas in this birth. Because if we do not clear our baggages, who knows, even if we get a second birth, even if we get a birth in human body, forget about being in other some other kind of a birth, even if we get the best kind of a human body, the best, richest family maybe in our next birth, we do not know exactly what other troubles we might be facing, and the same troubles might even become much more bigger trees in our next lives. So Guruji always wants us to clear that off, because he always takes the 90%. The only remaining 10% we need to suffer, and that also we cannot handle nicely. We only need to keep patience. In such a divine chapter, where it is mainly focusing upon Guruji being Mahashiva. Who is Mahashiva? Mahashiva is the ultimate energy who is controlling the entire universe. See, even in science today, they could not figure out that why and how the entire mass of this entire universe and the galaxies are not getting scattered. Because, okay, we can say that the planets are not getting defocused because of the gravity of sun and such, but how come they themselves are not getting defocused? So they have come across with a concept of uh, dark energy. They could not define it, but we are already defining it as Mahashiva. We are already saying that it is the ultimate light. See, if we go back to Shiv Puran, then also when Vishnu and Brahma wanted to find out that from where that pillar of light started and where it ends, they could not find any end to it, not even a start. When Ketaki was asked that you are falling, but since when you are falling and from where you are falling, even Ketaki could not answer that I'm only falling, falling, and falling for eternity. I do not know from where I'm falling and for how long I'm falling and where is the end and start to it. So that is the divine light. And Guruji has come down on earth on and he has taken us under his divine hands, divine umbrella. In this birth, we are only mere fraction of his soul only. We are not different from him. It's just that हम लोग भटक जाते हैं, and Guruji has come to bring us back to the track. And if we are able to listen to him, if we are able to understand him, if we are able to rectify ourselves, if we are able to clean ourselves, if we are able to go back to him as soon as possible, it's not only that our souls will be happy, I'm sure it's Guruji who will be even more happy, because he does not want his children to suffer. There are many instances, like in case of one satsang where I was listening, that while Guruji was sitting in his darbar, there was an aquarium kept, and one fish fell down from the it jumped out of the aquarium somehow, and somebody tried to pick it up and again put the fish back into the uh, aquarium, but Guruji said not to, and the fish jumped and then reached Guruji's charan, and it left its body. While on being asked to Guruji that why he said no while they were trying to place it back to the water, Guruji said that it was continuously praying to Guruji that it wants moksha and it cannot stay in this small aquarium. And Guruji was so merciful that he decided to give the fish moksha. The only thing that Guruji told to that fish telepathically was, you have to jump and come to me. And the fish was able to do that. It's not that the fish was able to do that. It was Guruji's blessing that ultimately that entire event happened, and ultimately moksha was granted. We even have another instance and an example of a satsang where Guruji is giving moksha to a small baby's buried body. The soul is coming out from the baby and getting moksha. There are so many other instances of such. Now, who can give moksha? It's only Mahashiva who can give moksha. And Guruji have always said, even in case of one satsang which I was listening to one day, where one uncle was planning to visit some place, some tirth sthal, and Guruji said, why to visit there? Shiva is sitting in front of you. People might have taken it jokingly at that point of time, or somebody might have taken it seriously also. But when today we look back at those small snippets where he have given some small windows towards what he is, or some small keyholes for us so that we can look into him, we can understand he himself is Mahashiva. And for a Mahashiva, our words are very scanty. We cannot really utter words and express what he is. See, the world is full of so many, even so many good people, so many wise people, but not everybody knows Guruji in this lifetime. Some people knows, the number of people that today as we consider as his followers are even so handful, not the entire population. But I'm sure Guruji is doing kripa to them also, who are not directly involved with him. There was one instance where I was again listening to another satsang where he has gone to a street chai wala vendor and he has asked to serve him tea. He has asked some other sangha to get tea from that vendor for him. When that tea vendor opened his money box, there his small swarup was sticked on it. It's not a big gaddi, it's not anything. Only it was stick there, it was only his bhakti. And it when he saw Guruji, uh, Guruji said that, see, you wanted to offer me the tea that you make, because he wanted that in his mind, in his man. And Guruji could read his mind also and has blessed him by himself going there. There is a word called Bhakta Vatsal. Guruji is always Bhakta Vatsal. He doesn't want anything from us. He only needs pure love for him. And by pure love, it means dedication. It means purity. Purity of our thoughts, mind, soul, of our habits, of our practices. In Bengali, there is a common song which says, Amra shobai raja, amader ei rajar rajotte, নইলে মোদের রাজার সঙ্গে মিলব কি সত্ত্বে? It means we all are king in our king's kingdom. If we all are not king, then how we will be one and we will meet our king? The same is applicable here also. Guruji himself has said that one small fraction of Shiva is within all of us. We only need to rekindle that, and by meditating more and by doing more spiritual practices, by taking more naam and doing more jap, we can increase that light within ourselves. And then one day, Guruji will himself come to take us back to himself. And I even feel that the young boy who was doing seva on that day is even so blessed that he knew that this is what is occurring while Guruji is resting in those 10 days gap, because that is only why he could tell Aunty that whatever darshan you had, please keep it to yourself. Otherwise, how would he even know that she even had a darshan of this divine uh, status? How blessed he is. In fact, every sangat who was in direct personal contact with Guruji at that point of time are really, really blessed. Because today, I'm sure Guruji is omnipresent. Guruji is always visiting all of us at a daily basis at 24/7 time, and always protecting and guiding us, is showering his divine light on us. But even then, being physically present gives a different kind of an experience. It changes one person from inside. I'm sure it does so. Because every day we are only listening to various satsangs and trying to understand who Guruji is. And maybe here and there, at many times, we even have questions in our minds that, okay, if it is so, then we cannot get out of our ifs and buts all the time. But how blessed those Sanghas are, who were blessed with Guruji's divine blessing in his human body, that they could ask any question that they have in their mind and get a clarification. And they really did not have to depend on a telepathy, because Guruji was so available to them. I wish even I could have been able to speak to Guruji and could have listened to him. It is such a divine chapter that my words, I do not know, I'm not getting much words to it. With this, I'll rest my topic. I would request the host to please take up, and if Kamlesh Aunty is present, then please bless us with her inputs. Shukrana, Guruji. Over to the host, please.
Jai Guruji. A blissful divine recitation session has been witnessed by Guru Parivar Sudeshna Aunty ji. I'll be requesting Gina Singh Aunty ji to say some words. Sudeshna Aunty, Kamlesh Aunty ji had a satsang during daytime today, and she was tired. She has felt her inability to join the session today. शाम को 6-7 बजे तक बेचारी बहुत बिजी रही थी. मैं खुद बोला कि प्लीज टेक रेस्ट, है ना. तो एंगल आई थिंक we can accommodate her, है ना.
Sure. Sir, why don't you say something? आप कुछ inputs दो ना.
Yeah, I'll be requesting Gina Singh Aunty, please. Jai Guruji ki.
Jai Guruji Maharaj. Jai Guruji Sangat ji. Sudeshna Aunty, thank you so much for interpreting Kamlesh Auntie's book, the chapter, The Flowers of Gratitude. में से इतना अच्छा आपने you have shared. It's a beautiful connotation that you shared with us. Very rightly you said that Guruji is omnipresent. He blesses everyone and he wants pure love and devotion. एक रब भी ऐसी चीज हमसे मांग सकता है. Everybody else in this world needs something or the other from us. And all Guruji wants is just pure love and devotion. Very rightly said by you. Thank you so much. Naam and Jap are the means to connect with Guruji. These two words really sunk into me when you said them today, that Naam and Jap. These two words are very, very strong. नाम जप के ही रब मिलता है, किसी और वजह से रब कभी नहीं मिलता. We all wish we were Guruji's Sangha that when he was in his human body. We miss all that, and I do pray many a times and say that Guruji, once, please once, come back. May let us also be with you for some time. Thank you so much, Sudeshna Aunty, for all the interpretation that you have done and shared with us today. And over to you, Uncle. Jai Guruji ki.
Thank you, Gina Singh Aunty. I'll be requesting Seema Kumar Aunty ji, please say some words for our dear Sudeshna Aunty ji, who has beautifully recited the assigned pages. Jai Guruji ki. Seema Aunty, over to you.
हाँ, जय गुरु जी. अंकल, मेरी आवाज आ रही है?
You are audible, Aunty. Jai Guruji ki.
Okay, thank you. जय गुरु जी सब संगत को. ब्यूटीफुल चैप्टर, और आपने सुदेशना आंटी बहुत अच्छा पढ़ा. अब आप देखिए इसकी द टाइमिंग इज सो करेक्ट. अब ये अभी सावन का महीना चल रहा है और हम ये चैप्टर पढ़ रहे हैं. और दूसरा, ये चैप्टर से मैंने रियलाइज करा कि हम सब संगत रियलाइज कर सकती है कि हम महाशिव के जिन्होंने दर्शन किए या हम उनके साथ जुड़े हैं, सो हाउ ब्लेस्ड वी आर. At least in my wildest of wildest dreams, I could never imagine कि हमें महाशिव मिलेंगे. और one thing I have realized in Guruji's journey that आप Guruji only decides at what time he wants to reveal himself कि वो क्या है and to what extent to each संगत. वो आपकी अपनी जर्नी है. अब देखिए मेरे साथ एक साल में in 3.5 years of my journey with Guruji, in 1 year I got amazing experiences in which he came in different किसी और रूप में आके he came and blessed me and gave me a gift. But I did not realize. I had many darshans, but I could never imagine कि God is, हमारे सामने खड़े ईश्वर और हमने उनको पहचाना नहीं. अब ये उनका मोमेंट था. उन्होंने मुझे कब बताया कि वो महाशिव है. संगत जी, ये हमको खुद समझना है कि कहाँ गुरुजी ने उनको हमें किस लेवल तक बताना है. मैंने एक सत्संग सुना था इसके जूम प्लेटफॉर्म पे बड़े मंदिर के. एक बहुत छोटा सा 5 मिनट का सत्संग था जिसमें एक डॉक्टर आंटी का था. उन्होंने जो सत्संग किया उसमें जिस ये बोली कि गुरुजी ने उनको बोला कि आप कहीं भी अरदास लगाते हो यहाँ पहुंचती है, as he had cured her son without letting her know. तो ये एक दिन मुझे वो समझ आया. उसके बाद देखिए लास्ट ईयर मेरे को महाशिवरात्रि के ऊपर फर्स्ट टाइम प्रेजेंटेशन करने के लिए बोला गया. संगत जी, मैंने जब ये शिव पुराण की मुझे गुरुजी से मुझे पढ़ने को मिला और मैंने जब शिव पुराण से महाशिव रात्रि का और महाशिव के बारे में पढ़ा तो मुझे समझ आया कि ये गुरुजी हमारे महाशिव हैं, पार ब्रह्म है. दैट वाज द डिफाइनिंग मोमेंट फॉर मी कि जिस दिन मैंने ये समझा कि गुरुजी क्या है. और ये जो हम श्लोक हमेशा बोलते हैं, गुरुर ब्रह्मा गुरुर विष्णु गुरु देवो महेश्वरा, इसका मैंने कभी डीप मीनिंग नहीं समझा था. जिस दिन मैंने ये सत्संग करा और ये रिसाइट करा, दैट डे आई रियलाइज कि व्हाट द मीनिंग ऑफ दिस श्लोका इज. हम लोग रिसाइट करते रहते हैं विदाउट knowing the meanings, and I realized that हमको पार ब्रह्म मिला है and how blessed we are, and the graph of my journey changed. अब आंटी को गुरुजी ने बहुत ब्यूटीफुल दर्शन दिए एंड आप देखिए how blessed she is कि उन्होंने उनको अपनी बहन माना और साक्षात उन्होंने उनके पास बैठी, बातें करी और उनके शिवा रूप में दर्शन करे. अब since he is not in his human form, you see how graceful he has been with me, and I'm sure with many संगत. संगत जी, अभी 31 मई को समाधि वाले दिन आपके ये मल्टीलिंगुअल में संडे को समाधि दिवस का बहुत बड़ा सत्संग हुआ था और सब पुरानी संगत आई थी. They narrated their experiences and I cried. I said, Guruji, I asked him कि हम कहाँ थे, हम दिल्ली में थे, हम आपको क्यों नहीं मिले, हमको क्यों नहीं पता लगा. And संगत जी, आप देखिए, it's my Guru's grace. On 31st May morning, I lit my jyot, and on the wall of my diya, I get beautiful darshans of Guruji's face with Shiva's head on him. And it is so clear कि आज शायद I will share with uncle and you can share on the platform. It is so clear. तो ये गुरुजी ने बताया कि मैं अभी चोले में नहीं हूँ, मैं अपनी सब संगत के साथ हूँ. And संगत जी, I have got umpteen numbers of Guruji's darshan in Shiva form and with snakes and all. So it's his grace. I realize कि आप गुरुजी से जिस दिन आप जुड़ेंगे, आप, as I've always said, आप अपने दिल को खोलिए, मस्तिष्क को खोलिए और एक बच्चा बन के, कहते ना कहे कबीर, तजी भरम को नन्ना होकर पी. आप एक छोटा बच्चा बन के जाइए, मूरख के हमदास, और आप गुरुजी के नजारे देखिए. This is what he has been showing me in his light, in himself in light form, and plenty of the number of darshans on my jyot, on Shiv Puran. Whenever I read Shiv Puran, I get his, darshans or his messages. So that's his grace. And I feel कि हमको जो पुरानी संगत है, they are very very blessed, but we are equally blessed कि गुरुजी हमें किसी ना किसी फॉर्म में अपने दर्शन देते हैं. एंड आप देखिए कि एक साक्षात ईश्वर के हम चरण शरण में हैं, तो हमें और क्या चाहिए. Who will take us to भव सागर से वही हमें पार कराएंगे. So I feel that we are all very blessed, and गुरुजी का शुक्राना और सबसे बड़ा शुक्राना साथ संगत का, क्योंकि आज ये साथ संगत नहीं होती तो मैं ये सब गुरुजी की जर्नी में कुछ नहीं जान पाती, एंड आई वुड हैव नोन हिम ओनली ऑन अ सुपरफिशियल लेवल की गुरुजी को कभी मैं इंटरनलाइज नहीं कर पाती, और उनकी ये जितनी मेहर पहले हो रही थी उसको आई वुड हैव ट्रीटेड देम एज मिरेकल्स। सो ये साथ संगत, अंकल आपका, इस प्लेटफॉर्म का, सब प्लेटफॉर्म्स का शुक्राना, पुरानी संगत का, सबसे ज्यादा पुरानी संगत का शुक्राना, जिन्होंने गुरुजी की इनसाइट हमको बताई, जिससे मैंने समझा कि जो मेरे साथ सत्संग हो रहे हैं ये गुरुजी की मेरे पर मेहर हो रही है, जो मैं पहले समझ नहीं पा रही थी। तो ये हमारी जर्नी में साथ संगत इज मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट। और कमलेश मेहता आंटी का भी बहुत शुक्राना कि इन सब के हमने सत्संग से समझा कि गुरुजी क्या हैं, और वो उसको फिर हमने आगे अपनी जर्नी को हम सब बढ़ा रहे हैं। सो आपका शुक्राना अंकल, सब सारी संगत का शुक्राना जो सुन रही है, एंड थैंक यू वेरी मच।
जय गुरु जी की, जय गुरु जी महाराज। सुदेशना आंटी, बहुत ब्यूटीफुली आपने रिसाइट किया है डिवाइन टॉपिक। सबसे बहुत ब्लेस्ड है आपको सबसे डिवाइन टॉपिक मिला आज, द महाशिवा और महाराज।
मुझे एक और बात शेयर करना था, ये इट इज आउट ऑफ दिस टुडेज टॉपिक। 26th and 27th was सावन महीना, इस ये महीने का 26th 27th was सावन महीने का शिवरात्रि। I was not aware of it frankly, and 25th night एक बड़े मंदिर के सेवादार हैं, वो कोलकाता आई हुई थी आंटी। तो उनसे मेरा ऐसा नहीं कि बहुत दिनों से परिचय है, ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है। लेकिन क्या हुआ, उनको कोलकाता में कुछ जानकारी चाहिए थी, तो एक दो संगत को उन्होंने पूछा था, मे बी दे वर आउट ऑफ टाउन एंड आई वाज ओनली इन द सिटी दैट टाइम, so I could whatever the very little that I knew about the specific thing that she was looking for, I guided her accordingly. She was supposed to stay here, she and her daughter were supposed to stay here for 2 days, but due to certain emergency her daughter had to go back, and she was here one day absolutely alone, and she said at the middle of the night of 25th midnight, she was saying, हम तुम्हारे घर में आके सत्संग कराए। I was absolutely falling from the sky। जैसे तैसे सत्संग हुआ। अब बाद में 2-3 दिन बाद मुझे फिर पता चला कि अच्छा वो तो शिवरात्रि था सावन का। गुरुजी कैसे कैसे करवाते हैं, आई डू नॉट नो, इट्स ओनली ऑल हिज विल।
संगत के रूप में गुरुजी महाराज आपके घर पे आए थे।
हाँ जी बिल्कुल। ज्यादा कुछ नहीं हो पाया, 1-2 लोगों को ही बुला पाए क्योंकि इतनी जल्दी में अरेंजमेंट ही करना पॉसिबल नहीं था। वी डिसाइडेड थिंग्स एट अबाउट 11:30 इन द नाइट, तो फिर नेक्स्ट डे कैसे ही क्या अरेंज हो पाएगा। गुरुजी ऐसे भी कराते हैं।
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, गुरुजी महाराज तो भाव के भूखे हैं बस। जय गुरुजी। If anyone else can say some words for on Mahashiva concept, anyone else may raise the hands. Mahashiva, our Guruji Maharaj. Is there anyone in the participants who may speak for 5 minutes? Jai Guruji Maharaj. I'm sure 1 or 2 hands may be raised. I'll be requesting Komal Kapoor Aunty, please unmute yourself. Komal Kapoor Aunty, if I'm audible.
जय गुरुजी, जय गुरुजी अंकल,
जय गुरुजी,
जय गुरुजी संगत जी।
Last week आपने आना था किसी सेशन में, but you could not attend, isn't it?
हाँ जी, yeah, I could not because I just came back from my India.
So this is in lieu of that session. Today is your day. Please महाशिवा के बारे में बोलिए।
Definitely. Oh my God, I was actually wanted to say, सोच रही हूँ कि अंकल क्या बोलूँ मैं महाशिव के लिए, क्या बोलूँ अपने महाराज के लिए, because I just came back from India and I had such a beautiful trip. मैं शुक्राना ही नहीं कर सकती महाराज का कि उन्होंने मुझे कैसे हाथों पे रख के दर्शन कराए, कुछ ब्यूटीफुल सत्संग से मिलाया, और मेरे पास अंकल वर्ड्स ही नहीं है डिस्क्राइब करने के लिए कि महाराज वाकई ही शिव धरती पे आए थे। यस, डेफिनेटली। और वो कितनों का कल्याण करके गए और कितनों का कल्याण अब कर रहे हैं, और डेली इतनी संगत जो जुड़ रही है। और उन लोगों, चलो जो आज जो संगत जुड़ रही है उनके अपने कनेक्शन है, पर जिन्होंने उन्हें लाइव देखा है वो तो उनके, तो मैं कहती हूँ कि वो लोग बहुत लकी थे अंकल, जो उन्होंने गुरु जी के दर्शन लाइव किए, उनको छुआ, उनको उनका दीदार किया। जैसे लोग डिस्क्राइब करते हैं कि गुरु जी का पैर के कमल कैसे थे, चरण कमल, हाथ कितने सॉफ्ट थे, उनका नूर, शरीर फेस का नूर, उनकी आईज अमेजिंग। मैं कह ही नहीं सकती कि मुझे कई बारी होती है थोड़ी सी जेलसी कि हम कहाँ थे। आई वॉज इन दिल्ली, गुरुजी मेरे को उस टाइम क्यों नहीं जोड़ा, मुझे क्यों नहीं बुलाया, आई वॉज देयर। सो जो ही ना अपना आंसर खुद ही मिल जाता है, दैट वाज नॉट अ राइट टाइम। वो राइट टाइम नहीं था मेरा, राइट टाइम तभी था जब गुरुजी ने मुझे चुना, गुरुजी ने मुझे चूज किया। Aunty, you read so well. This chapter was amazing, amazing, amazing. मन कर रहा है कि मैं इसी टाइम अब बुक खोल के सारी की सारी बुक अभी पढूं। इतना अच्छा लिखा है कमलेश आंटी ने, और जिन्होंने अभी नरेट किया, और आंटी आपने इतना अच्छा पढ़ा है। और अंकल आपको थैंक यू सो मच कि आप पता नहीं कहाँ से चुन चुन के लोग लेकर आते हैं, और ये इतनी अच्छी जॉब आप जो कर रहे हैं आंटी के। मैं कभी कभी अटेंड कर सकती, कभी नहीं, बट आई ट्राई माई बेस्ट कि आंटी की बुक का एक एक चैप्टर पढूं और सुनो, अपने कानों से सुनो और उसको समझो। इट्स सो सिंपल, इतना अच्छा लिखा हुआ आंटी ने। आई विश मेरे अगर कभी 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 इस लायक हुई कि मैं आंटी को मिल सकूं। दिल से इच्छा है कि पुरानी संगत को मिलूं, बट वो भी गुरुजी चाहेंगे कब और कैसे, क्योंकि थोड़ी सी ईर्ष्या होती है कि कैसे वो लोग उनको मिले। Anyway, Aunty, you read so well, and कमलेश आंटी इस बुक को लिखने के लिए आपका अनंतम 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 शुक्राना। और महाराज का तो मेरे पास वर्ड ही नहीं है। आई एम सर्चिंग फॉर शुक्राना का बड़ा वर्ड अंकल। आई विश वी कैन से more than शुक्राना, there is a word. Have no word there more than शुक्राना out there, but I'm still searching. Every day मैं सबको यही कहती हूँ, जिसी भी Zoom पे या संगत से बात करती हूँ कि there is no word more than अंतम शुक्राना, and we are looking for शुक्राना महाराज का। जितनी करोड़ों अरबों कितनी बार शुक्राना करूँ, शुक्राना शुक्राना शुक्राना। And I can't believe it, you called me. कहाँ आपका भी कनेक्शन है, महाराज ने आपको ब्लेस किया हुआ अंकल। यू आर ब्लेस संगत, यू आर महाराज की ब्लेस संगत, और वो जो काम आपसे करवा रहे हैं, अमेजिंग अमेजिंग अमेजिंग। मैं अपने दिल में सोच रही हूँ कि मुझे करना चाहिए कि नहीं करना चाहिए, हाथ रेस करना चाहिए कि नहीं करना चाहिए, एंड यू जस्ट कॉल मी। व्हाट अ कनेक्शन अंकल, थैंक यू सो मच, थैंक यू सो मच। शुक्राना महाराज, अनंतम शुक्राना, भूल चूक माफ गुरुजी, जय गुरुजी संगत जी, लव यू महाराज, अनंतम 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 शुक्राना। थैंक यू अंकल।
जय गुरु जी की। कोमल आंटी, एक तो गुरु जी महाराज की कृपा के बिना ये हम सही सुनते भी हैं और शब्दों में भी सुनते हैं रोज, और जो मैसेज मिलते हैं हमको गुरु जी की संगत के थ्रू, वो यही है कि गुरु जी की कृपा के बिना तो कोई भी पत्ता भी नहीं हिल सकता ना, कुछ भी नहीं होता।
बिल्कुल नहीं,
कुछ
बिल्कुल
नहीं
नहीं
होता। मैं खुद हैरान होता हूँ कि इतना जो मल्टीलिंगुअल टीम 2 साल में जो इन्होंने अपनी सेवाएं दे रही हैं, ये सब टीम वर्क है। 1 to 1 11 and 111। तो आप मानेगी, शुक्राना गुरुजी महाराज का मल्टीलिंगुअल जो पेज है 170 से ज्यादा आंटियां रीड कर रही हैं एवरी डे। कैन यू बिलीव इट? More than 70 aunties are reciting different things, different content from different books.
ब्यूटीफुल अंकल, आपको बहुत 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 बड़ी और बहुत अच्छी सेवा दी है महाराज ने। इससे अच्छी सेवा हो ही नहीं सकती।
मेरे तो
हमारी कितनों को जोड़ रहे हो आप, और कितनों के दिलों में महाराज के क्या। I have no words अंकल, I have no words.
एवरीथिंग अनबिलीवेबल, ये सब गुरुजी महाराज करवा रहे हैं, हम तो सेवकों के सेवक भी नहीं हैं। बाकी आंटी, कोमल आंटी, whenever you are in India next time and in North India, मैं आपको कमलेश मेहता आंटी जी के घर पे लेके जाऊंगा। जय गुरु जी की।
थैंक यू।
और-
जय गुरु जी, जल्दी होगा ये अब।
जय गुरु जी की।
जय गुरु जी। सॉरी अबाउट दैट अदर डे अंकल, आई couldn't come, I couldn't make it क्योंकि मैं अभी वापस आई थी इंडिया से, start working Monday, so उसका I still owe you, I'm just telling you now. Today you will give me order.
Your seva was assigned before 3 months, you remember, isn't it?
I know, but the trip was a little hectic क्योंकि there was a death in the family. I came back very sad.
चलिए, गुरु जी की जैसी मौज। मैं होस्ट से रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा, गुरु संगत को गुरु जी महाराज से आज्ञा दिलवाएंगे। जय गुरु जी की।
संगत जी अब हम आपके लिए आज्ञा लेंगे।
शुक्राना गुरुजी, जय गुरुजी, थैंक
जय
यू
गुरु जी,
अंकल।
शुक्राना
गुरु जी,
गुरु जी,
शुक्राना
बिल्कुल
गुरु जी,
जय
अनंतम अनंतम शुक्राना महाराज।
शुक्राना गुरु जी, अन्य गुरु जी, जय गुरु जी।
जय गुरु जी।
अनंतम शुक्राना गुरु जी।
शुक्राना गुरु जी, अन्य गुरु जी,
जय गुरु जी।
जो भी कहो। हाँ मैं मान रही हूँ, उसे क्यों निकाल